The new judge in YNW Melly's case is helping Melly be released from jail. A new report would read, Judge Fiend has a reputation for being the most even-sided judge in Florida. Perfect for YNW Melly, who has been mistreated and taken advantage of in the court system thus far. Which is very true, as he was even surprised when he was reading YNW Melly's file. It would be announced, Melly has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers to be. He's now sitting in our jail for 2,159 days, says the judge. As while the judge was reading that out loud, he was very surprised.
No, but let me repeat myself. Mr. Devins has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers to be. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So, how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's up to the Broward Sheriff's Office, but I can, as I said, I'm just asking for a week. And then I'm asking for at least a day or two. At minimum.
Decide by tomorrow. I've also reserved all of tomorrow.
As the judge couldn't even believe that YNW Melly has been sitting inside a jail for 2,161 days now at the time of this recording without a conviction. He straight up told the prosecutors to give us your final reasoning as to why Melly shouldn't be released, or I'm going to be releasing him on a bond. As the prosecutors have been investigating one of YNW Melly's lawyers, which is now going to delay the case. It was announced one of YNW Melly's defense attorneys, Raven Liberty, is being investigated for allegations of witness tampering as the rapper is awaiting a retrial. But what's very odd is no one actually knows if she is being investigated or not. It seems more like a prosecutor is lying to the judge to just have the Melly trial delayed even further, which is extremely illegal. So this is when one of YNW Melly's lawyers stood up and told the judge straight up that this is why YNW Melly should be released. You tell me if you would release him, as they would begin with an interview from Melly's mother, who made the claim that YNW Melly has not been allowed to use a phone or even look at his own mail inside a jail for 2,160 days.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
As Jamie King would reveal that she feels absolutely heartbroken for her son. She feels helpless as he's not even being treated like a human inside a jail.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
However, to help out YNW Melly's chances of release, his lawyers brought up this evidence from the original trial where YNW Melly was texting his ex-girlfriend in real time when the crime was going down, showing that he was technically running away from somebody on the street and he was texting her in real time.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah. He's like, yeah, there's some. I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're.
They would even back it up by showing GPS evidence of tracking YNW Melly's phone. He was seen going down a street and almost hiding into a bush. But also in the YNW Melly trial was prosecutors admitting there was not even a firearm that was found.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay.
This would end up getting a lot of media attention, especially from industry people, as Charleston White would react, sharing that this is what YNW Melly should be living like. No phone or even mail privileges, as he committed allegedly one of the worst crimes that you could ever commit.
Even the YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing, about being mistreated. When you done chose to play somebody.
Even leading into Boosie going on to speak about the stress that his mother has been going through, as his own mom had very similar experiences to YNW Melly's.
She real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a...
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman.
But the feds would retaliate by creating a 6-page evidence file explaining the reasons why YNW Melly should not be released from jail. And again, you tell me if you would release him after hearing it, as they would begin with the new charges that Melly and Bortlen are now facing, as broadcasted on the local news.
Filing 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a 2-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
As YNW Juvie's father would end up exposing how Melly and Bortlen were witness tampering, and even what code words they used to make Melly's ex-girlfriend not testify against him in the original trial.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom, and
as these were connected to YNW Bortlen's massive mistake. YNW Bortlen's house was raided by the feds, and they found insane paperwork that was stuffed into a suitcase hidden away in a closet, where Bortlen drew out on a piece of paper where all the jurors in Melly's original trial were sitting and what they looked like. A report would read, "Here are the images of alleged notes discovered during the home raid of YNW Bortlen's home last week, as filed into the Broward clerks," as Bortlen draws out where jurors were sitting with a description of what they looked like.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Demmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
As this is extremely illegal, as all the jurors are meant to be hidden with the trial process, but to understand truly how serious it is, here's DJ Academics' reaction.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
However, with the retrial taking over a year, the prosecutors continued investigating YNW Melly. They ended up finding that Melly was very close friends with King Von leading into his arrest and before King Von sadly passed, as a rogue O-Block member shared a secret that Melly told King Von, where Melly was asking King Von for advice on how to handle a situation where your 2 best friends, in his case Sack Chaser and Juvie, are coming after you for financial gain.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was 2 friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? What out the bam? I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us. but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
As the name YNW is a registered business, where Melly and Bortland were performing concerts, selling merch, doing promos, all in exchange for money. That money would be funneled into the YNW bank account. However, Sackchaser and Juvie looked at it as a four-way split. 4 people in YNW, 25% each, money right down the middle. However, Melly and Bortland realized Sackchaser and Juvie did not do any work for it. So if you know anything about King Von's past and how he handled his own situation, you can likely guess the advice that Von would have given YNW Melly. Now, when you pair this evidence with more evidence found on Melly's phone, this is where it gets bad, where he would send a text message hours after the crime, kind of admitting to it.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
But also found on Melly's phone was a saved video from somebody's Facebook Live, where it shows Melly and Bortland's reaction to the crime only 6 hours after it was done.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Showing not even an ounce of sadness for the passing of their 2 best friends. Knowing how Melly handled it emotionally, the lead prosecutor then dove deep into the physical evidence of the crime, such as the Jeep that they were driving in. As during the original trial, Sergeant Williams revealed, there is no way this could have been a drive-by, and the person that committed the crime had to have been sitting in the back left seat.
Number, you said 17 outside the car. How many rounds were inside of the car?
3.
And can you exclude the for Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas as coming from outside of the car?
Yes. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that Christopher Thomas, where did that come from?
Driver's side back seat.
Okay. Is it possible for there to have been 2 inside that car?
No.
Why not?
There is no time assignment, which is to determine if this is a drive. And my determination was that this is not a drive-by. And it's based upon this picture here, which is a very good picture to describe it. All of these rounds are done. One is done at a stationary position. At a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that.
As with Williams revealing the crime must have occurred inside from somebody in the back left seat, YNW Juvie's mother would then go to the stand and share who was sitting there.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right-hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.